Mad Max Fury Road, the comic, is written and illustrated by Mark Sexton, with ideas from Mark Miller. Sexton actually worked as a storyboard artist on the Fury Road film. Surprisingly, there aren't that many Mad Max comics, despite the popularity of the character. For those of you who don't know, our post-apocalyptic protagonist is Max. He's mad, and for good reason. Everything's gone. Wife, gone. Kid, gone. Personal hygiene, gone. Max's world kind of sucks. Except this book doesn't involve Max until later. The story focuses more on developing secondary characters from the Fury Road film. The comic serves as a prelude. The book is divided into 4 issues, plus an additional 5th, which is significantly shorter, about the war rig. Each issue acts as a standalone story as told by an historian, the Mad Max version of a teacher. The first issue is entitled Nux and Immortan Joe, and details the rise of Joe into an unforgiving warlord of the Wastes. I thought this one was just okay. Joe is a great villain, and unfortunately, I don't actually want to know more. The reason why is because in the Mad Max films, the wasteland is a crazy place, so things just sort of happen. It's like, why is this person insane? He just is, and you accept it like that. That's part of the charm of the Mad Max films. The second is about Furiosa and Joe's harem inside the Citadel. Unfortunately, this is where things start to fall apart a bit. There is a fair amount of controversy surrounding this issue, and its depiction of abuse. What the Fury Road film did so well was have the abuse the women suffered as a part of their character, but it did not define them as characters. The comic chooses to depict it as defining, centralizing the story on it, which is counterintuitive to the film. The whole thing comes off as unnecessary and kind of gratuitous. It's actually the 2 Mad Max stories which backload the book that are the most interesting. In these, we get to see Max being Max. He wanders the wasteland, dealing with loneliness and survival. I think I would have preferred the book more had it all been about Max, because he is the only constant throughout all the films. Now, I know the issues of Mad Max are just retreads of the old movies, mainly Mad Max 3 Beyond Thunderdome, but it's still cool seeing them in comic form. The origin of the war rig is a departure artistically from the rest of the book. The color palette is bright and very reminiscent of a comic from the late 1980s. It makes you think of what a Mad Max comic might have looked like had there been one when the original films were released. I can't say I would recommend this one. The story leans heavily on the assumption that you already know who these characters are. If you're a fan of Mad Max, you might get something out of it. Otherwise, skip it.